The 2020 domestic football season is about to come to a close, but fear not, football lovers, as the international game is about to crank up a notch with the return of the UEFA Nations League. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today we're going to take a look at the Nations League Group A, Section 4, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up today with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Nations League related, football related. We got it all here, boys. Under one Rovski. That's right, boys and girls. So, yeah, Nations League is vastly coming upon us. The past couple of days we've taken a look at the previous Group A sections, and now we're going to complete Group A with Section 4 tomorrow. We're going to take a look at the Nations League Group B. But let's get into the meat of the matter. But before that, in fact, big shout out to the Patreon gang for supporting the channel in the way that they do, especially through times like these. Of course, big respect to them. If you want to join the illustrious dream team of patrons, there is a link down below. It's patreon.com/Roversies. Check it out. It's in the old description. You can support the channel in another way besides your viewership. If you can't do it that way, smash the old subscribe. It puts a smile on my face regardless. Yeah, check it out. If you want to support the channel, that's been graciously appreciated. You can join my budding family, my forever growing family of patrons for Roversies. But let's get into it now. Of course, take a look at the Section A Group 4. And here we go. That's me, right in the middle. Of course, I don't want to get in your view and in your way. You're not here to see this face. You're here to see the stats and the figures. Here we go. So the nations making up this group will be La España, currently managed by Luis Enrique. They play their football in various stadiums across the glorious nation of Spain. They're captained by Sergio Ramos, who's made 170 appearances, which is the most for any Spanish player ever. The top goal scorer is David Villa, of course, formerly of he used to play football over in the MLS for a little bit, back into it, of course, famous big-time player over in La Liga. They're currently ranked 8th in the world. Their highest was ranked was 1st back in 2014. Their lowest was just 25th back in 1998. They are joined by the Ukraine, who are managed by one of my goal-scoring gurus back in the day, Andriy Shevchenko. They play their football in a variety of stadiums over the great nation that is Ukraine. They're captained by Andriy Payetov. The most capped player is Anatoly Tomashuk. He's got 144 games to his name. Andriy Shevchenko, the coach, is also the leading goal scorer with 48 goals to his name. They're currently ranked 24th in the world. They used to be as gloriously high as 11th in 2007, and the lowest point was back in 1993, probably from the dismemberment of the USSR of 132. So it doesn't really count, really. But since then, they've been just going and going and going until they hit 2007, and then they went back a bit. Joining them will be, of course, the glorious, fabulous nation that is Germany, Germany are here managed by, as it stands, Joachim Löw, of course, former World Cup winner, multiple World Cup winners, multiple European Championship winners, but yet to win the Nations League. Can they do it this time around? They're captained by Manuel Neuer, as it stands. Of course, the most capped player for Germany is Lothar Matthäus, with 150 caps to his name. Meanwhile, top goal scorer is Miroslav Klose, 71 goals to his name. They're currently ranked 15th in the world. They used to be, of course, number 1 back in 2017, and their lowest rank was in 2006, with a rank of 22nd. And again, that was prior to hosting the World Cup, I believe. So they didn't play any competitive games. They were hosting it, so they fell down the rankings like that. They're joined by Switzerland, who did make the old knockout stages last time around, so they're going to try to keep that streak going. They're currently coached by Vladimir Pekovic. They do play their football in a variety of stadiums across Switzerland. They're captained by ex-Gunner, an ex-Juventus ledge, Stefan Lichtsteiner. Their most capped players are Heinz Hermann, 118 games to his name. Alexander Frey is the most highest goal scorer with 42 goals. They're currently ranked 12th in the world. They used to be as high as 3rd back in 1993. Their lowest ever ranking was 83rd back in 1998. Those are your nations. Now let's take a look at the matches themselves. So here we are, boys and girls. It is Nations League A Group 4. Of course, we've already seen the previous groups. If you haven't checked out those videos, make sure you do so. And again, this is just a grand, quick-fire look at them, what I expect to happen at the end of it. But we'll do match day by match day when they come around. I'm going to start probably a couple of weeks, well, maybe a week or so. Probably back end of August is when the first match day videos will come out. So my predictions between now and then could change. You never know who gets injured, what goes on, managerial changes around, all this kind of stuff. All that stuff can happen, and it can change the way I feel. But we're going to go into this right here, right now, with what my initial vibe. And of course, if you don't want to miss a beat, boys, of course, And if you don't want to miss a beat, boys, you've got to make sure you bang the old subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Nations League related, of course, Blackburn Rovers League. Let's get into it then, of course, starting with Germany taking on Spain. This is a belter to kick off the group. It'll start on the 3rd of September, and it's going to be a mouth-watering clash. Two former World Cup winners locking horns again, but I can't really separate the two sides. Opening day nerves and all that kind of stuff. It'll just be too tight to call, and I'm going to sit on the fence on this one with a 1-1 draw. Meanwhile, it's a good opportunity for both Ukraine and Switzerland to start the campaign with a win themselves. But again, two likely nations that I just can't see separating too much between them. I'm going to go with a 0-0 draw between Ukraine and Switzerland on the same match day as well. So opening day draws all across the board. But realistically, when you look at this group, you do think it will be a two-horse race between Germany and Spain, and a two-horse race for the relegation spot between Ukraine and Switzerland. I'm not going to lie, I think that is the case here. But you just don't know. The football is a funny old game. You just don't know what will happen. Next up, a couple of days later, on the 6th of September, it will be Spain taking on the Ukraine, and I see Spain getting their first win on the board when they take on the Ukraine at home. And joining them, Germany will also follow suit with a victory, but this time an away day victory against Switzerland. A tight old game, of course. Switzerland are not the pushovers they once were. Neither are Ukraine. They're at this level for a reason, but do they deserve to be at this level? That's the question. I think if you narrowed the Nations League down to just two, like the Group A to just two groups, there would be a clear separation between a lot of these nations that have made up the Nations League Group A. For example, in the first group, I don't think I think Italy and the Netherlands were clear, head above water, above the likes of Poland. I can't remember who else was the other one. Poland and Bosnia-Herzegovina. It's completely two different sort of grades. Yeah, and the same could be said here with Switzerland and Ukraine. But that's what it is right now. That's what we're going to work with. Next up, we have Spain. They're going to be taking on Switzerland. That's on the 10th of the 10th. Big day in this house. That one, the 10th of October. And that will be a victory again for Spain. Back-to-back victories for them. A comfortable one as well. Got a bizarre scoreline there. 4-2 for me. Then the Germans will go to Ukraine to help make themselves, hoping to get themselves back-to-back victories, but I don't see it. I think the Ukraine will grind out a draw in a long distance travelled game for the Germans. So as it stands at the halfway point, it looks like Spain are in command with 2 wins and 1 draw so far, with Germany unbeaten as well with 1 win and 2 draws. Next up, Germany will take on Switzerland over in Germany, and the Germans will get back to winning ways. And this is on the 13th of October as well, in a big old month of football. Same match day, the Ukraine will also pick up another unbeaten point. In fact, they will have an unbeaten campaign at home with a 1-1 draw against Spain. A couple of drop points there for Spain, perhaps. Maybe open up the door for the Germans to go through to the knockout stages. We'll have to see. Next up, we have Germany taking on Ukraine over in Germany. And again, Germany will get back to winning ways. This will be on the 14th of November. And Spain will keep up the pace as well with a 2-0 win over the Swiss in Switzerland as well. So comfortable away win for Spain, sorry. And Switzerland are looking at their relegation position as it stands. Right now, they have had an absolute shit show. The only points that they picked up was the draw against Ukraine in Ukraine. And finally, Spain against Germany in the mouthwater Crunch Classic, of course. They couldn't be separated the first time around, but I think Spain will get the upper hand this time around on the back end of the month, 17th of the November. Spain will make it an unbeaten campaign for them. Germany will slip up a little bit, and in the final game, it'll be Swiss against Ukraine, must-win game for Switzerland, and unfortunately, they won't do it. Ukraine will pick up another draw, makes it 4 for them in a solid campaign, but really, eventfulness for them. And that, my friends, will complete what I expect will happen in Group A, Section 4. And this is the situation at the table. I see Switzerland going down. Of course, they made it to the knockout stages last time around, but this is a different kettle of fish. They're up against some real tough opponents in Germany and Spain. And the Ukraine, they can't be taken Mickey out of, because they're a decent nation and they're hard to beat these days. But unfortunately for the Ukraine, they will sit in a 3rd spot with 4 draws, 2 defeats, 4 points on the board. Just 2 points better off than Switzerland. Into 2nd spot, it will be the Germans with 3 wins, 2 draws and 1 defeat, 11 points on the board, comfortably in 2nd spot. But unfortunately, Spain right on top, 4 wins, 2 draws and 0 defeats, 14 points on the board. So my boys, Germany will crash out at this stage, or at least hold firm at this stage. Spain will go through to the knockout stages to join the winners of Group A, Section 3, Section 2 and Section 1 to make up a very, very tasty knockout competition. But that, my friends, is what I think will happen in Group A, Section 4. What do you guys think? Make sure you get your own predictions in nice and early for this group and the rest. Be sure to stop by each and every one of the videos to give you your predictions and let me know who you think will be 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and of course top honours and that kind of stuff. Tomorrow we delve into Nations League Group B, Section 1. Of course, the journey's only just started. We're going to take each and every look at each and every one of them, including the minnows of San Marino, the Gibraltars, and the Faroe Islands in the gang. We've got some many videos to look forward to on the channel. Of course, new seasons are starting every weekend from here on in. It's just going to be new stuff every single day, so make sure you smash the subscribe, smash the little bell as well, so you don't miss a beat, boys. You don't miss a beat, and of course, come back for the match days whenever they come around at the back end of August, starting of September as well. But until then, though, give this video some love, smash the thumbs up, check out the description. Links to my other social media platforms are in the old description there. Twitter, Facebook, and of course Patreon if you want to support the channel in another way. That's the place to do it. Until then, though, I'm going to let you get out of here. Do you agree? Spain through, Switzerland going home? What do you think? Get in the old comment section down below. Until then, I'm out. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.